I'm gonna show you our garlic and onion beds that will be for our early summer harvest. When you're planting garlic and onion, if you want to have an early harvest, you want to plant it in the fall. A lot of people don't think of onions as something that you plant in the fall, but it does actually help them to get established in the fall before the cold weather, so that they are already growing come springtime. One less thing you have to plant come spring. It's one of those nice things, as everything else around you is dead and dying, you're actually planting something, and it's something to look forward to and give you hope throughout the winter months. So we have 6 raised beds here. 3 of these beds have garlic in them. 3 of them have onions. We have a yellow, a red, and a white onion, and this is all German music garlic planted here. You want to make sure, at least in our mid-Atlantic region, zone 6B, in most regions close to ours, plant your garlic and onion before Thanksgiving. That's generally recommended, but honestly, anytime you can do it post-harvest, even before springtime, but hopefully before Thanksgiving is really the best. So we're gonna look and see that we have some greens starting to pop up through the mulch here. And if we take a closer look, you'll actually see a lot of them popping up. Upon closer inspection, you see where I've dug up a little bit. We actually have several inches of growth right here. And we're just going to cover that back up. Yes, we did have a little bit of predation. Some critters coming in and popping a couple of bulbs out of here. But it doesn't look like there's been that much. I'm just going to leave those exposed so that come springtime we can tell where we are to not expect our bulbs to be growing. There's the garlic. Here's some of the onion. Again, these were all planted before Thanksgiving, and everything's doing pretty good. If you are planting a new bed, or if you're reusing your bulb beds that you grew onion and garlic in before, it is advisable to fertilize it with bone meal. That is going to give it the nutrients that it needs to help slowly feed the nutrients so that your bulbs are able to grow and flourish. On site, we do make our own bone meal. We raise and process our own chicken meat. So once that processing has been done and we have the carcasses, we will compost those on the farm, and when it's ready, we can use that, mix it up, and have it as our own wonderful resource. Last year, we did not get our act together in the fall. We still are actually in the process of cleaning up from 2 years ago, because life was just a little too busy then, and we didn't prioritize some stuff. So what we did last spring was clean out these beds and plant our onions and garlic then. The issue is the weeds came up at the same time as these little sprouts did. And with planting hundreds of other hundreds and hundreds of other plants. They got lost to the weeds. We weren't able to weed everything as easily as we could have. It was more difficult to mulch or keep mulched. We got production, but not nearly as much as we would have liked. And we decided we didn't want to experience that again. We use garlic and onion almost every day. You know, they say something like 26 garlic per person, or 26 onions per person for a sustainable food source. I think it's much higher than that for my family personally. We overhauled this entire area. It had just been filled with weeds and honestly really good composted soil, or composted plant material and soil. That helped us to fill these beds up with some fresh nutrients. I am sure that we threw a ton of stuff with seeds in it, but thankfully, as you saw, the green is starting to sprout out of these bulbs, and we threw the mulch down on it, and we are off to a better start. Come springtime, all of those green sprouts will be growing up above this, and we will be able to very easily tell the difference between our weeds and our garlic and onion. If you come a little closer, you will see a little bit of frost, but also, what is that germinating in here? Not sure, but I am sure I don't want it in my onion bed. Yeah, we have onions in here as well, but yeah, we have had carrots in here before. There could be some carrots in here, and honestly, if there are carrots that come back in here, we'll probably let them grow. One other interesting side note, with having carrots in your raised beds, it's a wonderful place to have them. We do not harvest carrots and store them inside. We will come out and dig them up fresh when we need them. The frost helps them take on a more wonderful flavor. Yeah, they don't go bad as quickly, and again, in our zone.
Because we tried all those methods of sawdust and sand, and one year I said, enough, I'm just going to keep them in the ground. Yeah, and it worked way better.
Not that it was bad to have them in there, but it was just a lot of extra work that we found wasn't necessary to dig them up and to...
The sand we had to wash off, which was a pain, and they did some go bad towards the end. And the sawdust, they didn't go bad as quickly, didn't have to get washed off as much, but some did go bad.
Yeah.
And with this, some we just said, all right, go ahead to go to seed.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you leave your carrots in the ground for 2 years, 2 growing cycles, the second year is when they actually produce their seed. So if you want to be more self-sufficient in your carrots, leave some of them properly spaced out if possible to grow another year. That year, take care of them. You'll find that they will flower and produce an abundant amount of seeds. You can then harvest and replant.